Welcome, everyone. Good morning. As we head into this new year, it feels good. So we're going to take you through a little journey today to allow you and assist you and guide you and share with you moving into that new year. And I know many of you know this song, and if you feel inclined to hum along, to sing it silently, to sing it with me, you're welcome to do that. The things my family did, I am not the voices in my head, I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Sing with me, city side. I am light. I am light. Let go of whatever no longer serves you. I am light. I am light. Know that the glow and the radiance inside of you is ready to shine. Even through all of this, you are still shining. There was never a dimming light. I am light. I am light. You are not mistakes that you have made, or any of the things that caused you pain. You are not the pieces of the dream that you thought you left behind. No, you are light. I know that you are light. You are light, brighter than you know that you can be. Sing with me one more time. I am light, I am light. Know this for yourself. Know this deeply. I am light, I am light. From your toes to the top of your head, you are light. If you want to stand up and shake your body a little bit, I said, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, said I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing, city side, come on. This little light of mine, what? Yes, you are. This little light of mine said what? Let it. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, I said, I'm gonna take this light around the world, and I said I'm gonna take this light around the world. I know I'm gonna take this light around the world. Yes, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, I'm not gonna let anybody blow it out. Why? Oh, baby, don't you let anybody blow it out. I know they are not gonna let it blow it out. Said, I'm gonna let it shine. What? Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I said, this little light of mine, yes. Oh, this little light of mine. Yes, this little light of mine. What? I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning, Cityside. I'm Reverend Amy Daniels. I'm the spiritual director here at Cityside, and if you're here for the first time, we especially want to welcome you. At Cityside, we're about practical spirituality that supports you in creating the life you want. We embrace new thought and wisdom paths, and we are affiliated with Centers for Spiritual Living. But what we're really about is providing a supportive community for all of you to grow in your own spiritual relationship. So you might notice, where is Don at the back of the room? Somewhere holding vigil. Don is in a meditative state, and he's just supporting us all and going deeper in our experience today. So if you notice him back there, that's what he's up to. So on the way in, you should have gotten a handout. Did everyone get a handout? Okay, do we have any more? So please join me in speaking our vision and mission out loud. It's on your handout. We envision an empowered community that is living in a world of unconditional love in action. Our mission is to create safe spaces to explore and deepen our faith, grow in spiritual relationship, and connect with our authentic nature. So we are a social media friendly church, so if you notice someone's on their phone, don't give them the eye. We invite everyone to check in on Facebook and let people know you're here, to share the video. We do get a lot of people watching during the week. I actually got a call after the service last Sunday from someone who they watched the whole service online. He goes, that was so great. Loved the music. So he said everyone did a great job. So please share it, because there's a lot of people out there who are by themselves over the holidays, and it's a way to offer a little bit of hope. So our theme for December, which feels like we're almost in January already, is Darkness into Light. And today, Russ Legear, one of our assistant ministers in training here at Cityside, is going to be leading us in a burning bowl. And rumor has it he's going to be talking about spiritual bypass and releasing what no longer serves us. So I'm looking forward to that. I just feel like that's the continual journey of life, isn't it? Just noticing we're not where we need to be and just continuing to do our work every day. So with that, we have a tradition here. It's an icebreaker. And the rule of the icebreaker is you need to meet someone you don't know and say hello to them. And the icebreaker question today is, what are you doing on New Year's Eve?
Hello, dear hearts. This is a joyful noise in this room. I love it. I love all that happy heart. So we'll come together. I am Connie Hodak. I'm one of your spiritual practitioners here at Cityside. The spiritual practitioners are here to serve you. We hold you in prayer. We hold Cityside in prayer. We offer time and space for you to work through whatever you wish to work through. So always feel free to call upon us. And we have, I think, 8 of us now. So, and we'll be introduced as we go along. But know that we're here for you always. I have a reading today. It's The Spiritual Liberation by Michael Bernard Beckwith. And I will do the reading. We will go into a meditation and then prayer. I love all the faces I'm seeing out here. This is great. Thank you. All right, let's see here. You are an adventurer in consciousness. Just as we meet different aspects of ourselves when we travel to a country or over the state line that is new to us, so do we discover different dimensions of ourselves when we enter new terrain within consciousness. Declare that you are an adventurer in consciousness, traversing this 3-dimensional realm to behold the wonders of creation. Then you will no longer be a passive tourist in your life. Search yourself and see how you move in the world. Do you delay or deny good in your life because you believe that the outer condition must change first? Have you put your life on hold while you wait for outer circumstances to shift before you can become an adventurer and explorer in consciousness? That world isn't any different once you press the play button if there is no corresponding change in your consciousness. As a spiritual adventurer, include in your spiritual practice a willingness to stay on the razor's edge and not become so comfortable that you become lethargic or mechanical in your spiritual practices. Consciousness is limitless, so you want to continue discovering deeper and deeper dimensions of your being. When you fully participate in life, you courageously venture into unexplored territory, aspects of being you didn't know existed, because you kept on settling, surviving, conducting life as usual in a state of mediocrity. Be bold enough to step out without knowing how things are going to end up, but trusting everything to break through the safety net you have already constructed for yourself. Experience the proverbial here's journey of adventuring out, experiencing challenges, growing through and transcending them, and returning homeward transformed within. Okay, now I'd ask you to get comfortable in your chair. Align yourself, your body. Let the chair hold you, not you in the chair. Just let the chair hold you, feet flat on the floor. Relax from the top. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Now breathe deep. Take 3 deep breaths all the way to the bottom of your lungs and release it in your own rhythm. Deep breath and release. Now find your natural rhythm of breathing. Tell the mind to calm. Sink into your heart space.
that space that is filled with the white light of the Holy Spirit and the gold light of God, whoever and whatever you call God, that energetic, divine spirit, the unconditional love that I call God, that is always and ever present. Just settle into that. Keep breathing. Now quietly, keep breathing and listen. Just listen. Listen for that which is yours to know. Listen for that which are the answers you're asking for. Listen to that which is of your being. And breathe. Come gently back into the room. Gently back into your body. Take a deep breath, a deep cleansing breath. Put a smile on your face. Feel the love as I speak a prayer over Cityside. I recognize right here, right now, the presence of the Divine Spirit, that unconditional love that is always and ever present, flowing through us, around us, and is. We are one. We are one with the divine. We are one with the universe. We are one. And I speak a blessing over Cityside. I speak a blessing over everyone who comes together to set up, to sing, to be a functioning part of Cityside. And I speak a blessing over each and every heart and soul that come to join us each Sunday, holding you high in the vibration of the divine love. So grateful for that love, always and ever. And today I speak a blessing over Russ Legear, thanking him for his agreement to be the conduit of God's word, that the message flows through him and to us, and we each hear that which we need to hear, that which we need to know. It is just for each of us, unique and divine. And then I speak a blessing over the world at large, spreading the love, spreading the joy, and spreading the peace. We are all one, and we all deserve the love of God. I call this all good, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Connie. So today, the feature song is about you making a personal choice. How you ride out of 2019 on whatever wave that is. And how you walk, stroll, run, leap, jump, saunter, sashay into 2020. However that looks for you, let it be, right? But in all of it, we choose. Nobody else. Nobody else makes any choices for us. Because you never know where life is gonna take you, and you can't change where you've been. So today, I have the opportunity to choose. Here I am now looking at 40, and I got so much to say. I gotta get this off my chest, I better let it go today. I was always too concerned about what everybody might think. But I can't live for everybody, I gotta live my life for me. And I've reached a fork in the road of my life, where nothing gonna happen unless I decide. And I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. That's right. And what do? I choose. Thank you. I'd have been through some painful things I thought I'd never make it through. Filled up with shame from the top of my head to the soles of my shoes. I've put myself in so many chaotic circumstances. By the grace of God, I've been given so many second chances. Today, I decided to let that shit go. I'm dropping off these bags and making room for my joy, 'cause I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. Why Cityside? 'Cause that's right, you better choose now. Because you never know where life is gonna take you, and you can't change the way you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose, and so do you. Release the guilt of why things happen the way they do, 'cause life's gonna do what it do, and I choose. Yes, everything I do now, I said, from this day forward, I'm gonna be exactly who I am. I don't need to change the way that I live just to be a man. I know I even had a talk with my mama, and I told her that I'm grown. From this day forward, I'm gonna be exactly what I want, and I choose to be the best that I can be. And I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. What? We're gonna sing that again. And I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be courageous in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. What? I choose. And let me tell you, because you never know where life is gonna take you, and you can't change where you've been. So today, I have the opportunity to choose. Release the guilt about what things have been the way they did, 'cause life is gonna do what it do. And today, I have the opportunity to choose. I have the opportunity to choose, to not judge, to be in the space of now, of who I am, what I choose to be, how I am in this very moment. So let go of whatever you think was supposed to happen in the past and just choose.
I think this woman needs some more love. Thank you, Tiffany Monique and Greg Woods. You are fabulous as always. And hello. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of faces I haven't seen in a while, a lot of new faces, and a lot of faces that I get the pleasure of seeing every Sunday here. So, hi, I'm Russ. I'm here to be your flight director today for this Burning Bowl service, as John Adams is not here today, so I got to put a little John Adams hat on. So today is our Burning Bowl service, and this particular ritual has a bit of a different meaning for me than I think it traditionally has, and I'd like to share that with you today. And I'll start off with a story, and a lot of you have probably heard this story before, so please bear with me, because there is more to this story than meets the eye. So once upon a time, there was a hurricane, and there is a guy who's trapped on the top of his house in the hurricane. I see some of you nodding your heads. You've heard this before. So he's trapped. He's like, praying to God. God, please help me. Please help me not drown or die or get hit by lightning or be blown away by the wind. I don't want to die in this hurricane, right? So he prays and he prays and he prays. And a day goes by, and a lady comes by in this little dinghy. And she's like, hey, get in my dinghy. I can save you. We can row out of here. And he's like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm waiting for God to save me. And so the lady kind of looks at him with this puzzled expression like, huh? Okay, when she just rows off because she doesn't want to die in the hurricane, right? So another day goes by, and the hurricane's still going by, and he still praying to God, God, please save me from this hurricane. And then all of a sudden, a bigger boat comes by, and the guy in the boat's like, you got to get in this boat. The hurricane's getting bigger. You're going to die. You got to get off that house. And so the guy in the house is like, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. And he continues to pray, and of course, the dude in the boat's like, what? So he goes off in his boat. So on the third day, the Coast Guard shows up, big old Coast Guard boat, It's made out of metal. It's pretty awesome. Looks like the kind of boat you'd want to be in the middle of a hurricane. And the Coast Guard gets out their megaphones, and they're like, you need to get off of that house. You're going to die. And, of course, the guy is like, no, I'm praying to God. I'm waiting for God to save me. So the Coast Guard's like, well, we've got a bunch of other people on this boat that are going to die, so we've got to get out of here. Sorry. Womp womp. And Coast Guard goes away, and the guy's house floods. He drowns, and he dies. It's not the end of the story, of course. He finds his way to the afterlife, and he's talking to his vision of God, whatever that vision might be. We all have different visions of God. And God's like, so, how'd that work out for you? And the guy's like looking back at God all incredulous, like, I prayed to you. Why on earth did you not save me? And God looks back at him and is like, I sent a lady in a dinghy, I sent a bigger boat, and then I sent the Coast Guard, and you didn't get in any of those, so why are you so surprised? And the moral of the story is usually that we need to be looking for what God gives us when we pray in our lives, what God gives us as the solution to our problem. I want to take it a little bit deeper, because what this guy was doing on the house is he was engaging in that thing that Amy so generously led us into, spiritual bypass. How many of you have heard that term before? Okay, good. So a lot of you. How many of you feel like you have a good understanding of that term? Okay, so less hands, good. That means that this is going to be helpful. So spiritual bypass, long story short, is the act of using spiritual practice to avoid something we don't want to see in reality. The key word here is avoid. And that's the whole reason that I'm doing this for the Burning Bowl. Don't worry, we get to do our Burning Bowl. It's going to be fabulous. You can release your things. But I want us to be able to release those things that we don't like about ourselves, that we didn't like about 2019, for the right reasons. And let that sink in for just a bit. Because spiritual bypass is us engaging in spiritual practice in a way that is avoiding what's going on in reality. Because we don't want to feel the pain, we don't want to feel whatever emotion might be around it. And that's not in alignment with who we are. We are light, right? We are the truth of God made manifest in human form, but when we're avoiding those parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at, or those parts of our life that we didn't want to have, that we don't want to see, then we're just kind of like sweeping everything under the rug, hoping that it won't come back and bite us. And really what it's doing is it's dumping it into our subconscious. So how that played out in my life, before I went and got help, I found, a really great therapist, and she helped me to look at those things in a really safe and a really compassionate way. But before that, I suffered from something that was called, clinically it's called dysthymia. And what that means is the inability to feel emotion. And it's an avoidant personality trait where you basically, you try and avoid feeling all of those things that are kind of churning below the surface. So I had two kinds of ways that emotions would come out. It would be anger and more anger. And that did not work super great for my life. I don't know if anybody's been in that particular position, but when you're angry all the time, even if it's not coming out verbally or in some other way, people really don't want to be around you because it's just, there's like this that's surrounding you the whole time. So what I was doing is I was avoiding. I was bypassing those emotions. I would even use spirituality to do that, be like, oh, I meditate. And then I would go into work and I'd be crabby and angry at people. Like, yes, I meditate. I am spiritual. I have ascended. I am evolved. And I was the only person, I think, who believed this. Thank God for a really amazing therapist to call me on my BS, because I needed to be called on my BS. And so I bring that up in the context of our Burning Bowl today, because when we release those things from our past that no longer serve us, that perhaps were a challenging situation, that might have all kinds of emotions around it, first, we need to make sure that we're doing it for the right reason. We're not just doing it to avoid it, but rather we're doing it in a way where we acknowledge that even in that situation, we were whole. You get that? Because that shadow part of us, those parts that are dark, that are maybe a little bit hard to look at, you know, for me it was my anger, it was my sadness, it was the shame that I felt that I'd kind of internalized for most of my life. I had to learn to look at myself from a place where I saw, oh, I was actually whole in those situations, and I just didn't know how to deal with it. It's actually really freeing because we get to release our judgment that we hold around ourselves. You know, I was like so judgy of myself. I was like, wow, man, you know, here I am avoiding my pain, and then I'm judging my avoidance of the pain, and then I'm avoiding my judgment of the judgment. You know, it's like this hamster wheel of the mind, and that's what I'm so grateful that I get to be up here today and to be in this wonderful community, because our whole point here is to get everybody off that hamster wheel. You know, we want to get people into being able to choose our lives as opposed to having our lives chosen for us and chosen by the things that we haven't dealt with about our past. So how do we create that new relationship? How do we find a way to safely, because it doesn't feel safe. Trust me, it doesn't feel safe to do this. How do we let those darker parts of ourselves become known? How do we let those past experiences come up so that they can be healed? Well, one, we have to realize that courage already resides within us. We all have the light of God within us, and there is nothing, no thing whatsoever that can ever harm that. It's just not possible. That light can give us that courage. The second thing is to realize when we are spiritual bypassing, because it can be very tempting to just go be like, God, my life is a bloody mess. Can you please fix it for me? To which God, the universe, whatever you wish to call it, may reply and be like, your wish is my command. And the thing that we end up missing is that the universe also says, here is what is yours to do in this. Because we all play a part, don't we? We have free will. We get to choose. So God might be doing all of these things, you know, like sending the boats to come and save us. And we might just be off there in La La Land saying like, oh, okay, you know, I did my prayer. It's all going to happen. It's going to be great. And then, you know, like 2 weeks later, we're back doing the thing that we were, you know, that we put on our paper that we burned here today in the burning bowl. So I think it's so important that we take that time to just really look with courage, to look with the knowledge that God is right there looking with us, and that light that is the state and nature of our being, that is there to illuminate all of those parts, all of those things, all of those mistakes, whatever you want to call them, that we did in 2019 or before, because you don't just have to release this stuff from 2019. If you got like a whole like lifetime's worth of stuff you want to release today, if you can fit it on that paper, go for it. So the most important part before we begin this process that I wanted to share with you is knowing truly that we are never alone in this process of releasing those things that don't serve us. We are never alone in the process of taking the time to look at our darker self, at our shadow self, at the shadows that our light might cast on the wall. God is always there with us in whatever form best serves us. Not only that, we have this brilliant and amazing community that I have to say, over the past year, especially since we moved here to Fulton Street Collective, I am just blown away when I see each and every one of you showing up here every Sunday. I am blown away seeing new faces every day, because what that tells me is that all of us are ready to let that light shine. So do you guys think that you can join me in letting that light shine in this community? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a short meditation here. And before we do that, I want to go over some like super quick logistics so that we can have a smooth process here. When you are ready to come up here after the meditation and have your paper burned, Amy and I will be burning the papers. Please line up around the outside here, and you will come across this way. And then when you're done, you will go down this middle aisle here back to find your seat. Sound good? And we will have we'll have a couple of ushers up here too to make sure that nobody gets lost, because we want to make sure that we're good shepherds. So, all right. So let's dive into this meditation. And I want to just conclude here before. Sorry, you know, new minister in training. We don't know when to shut up. So I want to make this really super clear here, because I think it is important in the spirit of wholeness. By burning this paper that has all of these things that we want to release from 2019, we are not destroying the shadow part of ourselves. We actually can't do that because it's part of us. It's part of our wholeness. Rather, what we're doing is we're shining the light of the divine upon it so that we can understand it and so that whatever healing needs to occur can take place. It's really a very powerful symbol of that light. Because once that light is shined upon it, we realize that, oh wow, why was I giving this my power? And we can actually let it go in a way where it doesn't come back to haunt us 2 weeks later. All right, so if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And I invite you to imagine before you this brilliant being of light that is your divine self. It has never been harmed. It is pure, it is brilliant, and it is love. And I invite you to ask it, what is mine to release in this ceremony today? And simply allow that to come through you. And the next question I'd like you to ask is, ask this divine being, what is my part in this process? And simply allow that to come through too. When you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes and you can begin recording what came through on your piece of flash paper that should be inside of the colored envelope. Please be gentle with it, just as we are gentle with ourselves, because the flash paper is a little fragile. And live streamers, I believe that the wonderful Keith Jacob put on a slide for you on how you can participate at home. So please do not feel left out. So whenever you feel ready, begin to line up, but please take your time.
in my life, and in my light I shine so brightly to reach into this new year, and all I see I stand grounded, and I believe that my soul is right where I need to be. Oh, I am me. I stand strong to be free. Let go, let go, let go to be free. 'Cause now I see. 'Cause now I see. 'Cause now I see. I am free. I am free. I'm free. Hey.
The facilitator has to do his too.
I'm free.
All right. Is there anybody who has not come up to release yet? All right. Thank you, Amy, for helping to help us release. And I will go ahead and close us out here with a prayer. And so I just take this moment right here and now to recognize that one mind, that one presence and power that is the life force and back of all of life and creation. It is all that there is, truly. I choose to call it God, but I know that it is so much more than just that name. I know that it is infinite, it is expansive, it is the vast realm of possibility, and I know that above all, it is love. And it is that love that I recognize my unity with here and now. Just as I know each and every beautiful person here in our service is one with God, each and every beautiful person on our live stream, and everybody who is partaking of this community that could not make it here today, I know that they are truly blessed, that they are one, that we are one with this divine love, this divine light. And so I'm so grateful to claim and declare here and now that all that has been surfaced in this burning bowl ceremony, that all of this is truly illuminated by the light of the divine. And in so doing, I know that we are able to easily and effortlessly release these ways of being, these experiences, whatever they may be, and send them back into the nothingness from which they came. I know that we are uplifted as our divine light is able to burn brighter than it has ever burned before as we step into our lives in the year 2020. I know that each of us is divinely sourced and supported by the one, that we are absolutely lifted up by God in every single moment of our days to come, knowing that this divine presence walks, flies, glides, floats within and next to us throughout every moment of our days. And so I say that we are uplifted with love, we are uplifted with joy, we are uplifted with all that is good. And so with that, I just express my gratitude for the fulfillment of this prayer, for all of the good that has occurred here today. With my gratitude, I release this word into the action of the law. I call it good, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Russ. So Cityside is a community-supported organization, and each week we practice conscious giving, and any gifts that you make support us in creating Sunday morning. We don't have a lot of expenses. Besides that, we're sort of a low-budget operation right now, in the best possible way. But the reason I support Cityside is that I like to have a place to come on Sunday mornings and to be reminded. I was thinking, someone posted on the live stream last week that it's hard right now to feel grateful with everything that's going on in the world. And so I'm just aware, like for me, I like to come back and remind myself. And that's why I support Cityside. So we're going to pass a basket in a second, and you can also text to give. There's instructions on your handout to 312-757-8111. But before we make our gifts, I just invite you to turn within for a second and close your eyes and just think about what you're grateful for this week. Maybe you got to see family you don't normally see. Maybe you got some time off of work. I know I'm grateful for that. Maybe you just got some extra sleep. And if in any way you're struggling to be grateful, just because the holidays also bring, sometimes challenging family things, just ask your spirit just to open up a space for you to see what's present. And I just invite you to hold your gift to your heart and just join me in our affirmation, which is on your handout. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
It's like a diamond ring, it's a precious thing, and we never wanna lose it. It's like a favorite song I love to sing. Every time we hear the music, yeah, I said we're in this love together. We got the kind that lasts forever. I said we're in this love together, and like berries on the vine, it gets sweeter all the time. Sweeter.
It is sweet. So we just give thanks for all the gifts that have been offered, just knowing that God is our source, that we are abundant, that as we give, we participate in the perfect giving and receiving of life. And I just give thanks for our individual abundance, for the abundance of Cityside, and I just give thanks knowing that all is well. And so it is.
And so it is.
Where's Eric Todd? Come on up. He's our handsome announcement man.
I'll take that. Good morning, I'm Eric Todd Rushing, and I serve as Sunday Director here at Cityside. If you are here for the first time, we would like to welcome you and thank you for blessing us with your presence. Please step out into the hall, into the welcome table, and fill out an information card. We would love to stay connected with you. If you've been coming for a while and you're curious about membership, you can also Find out more information about that at the welcome table, and it's basically just saying, I would like to be a member. It's not a big list of anything. And then in the new year, we'll have a community meeting around membership, and we can look for that coming up. If you're looking for some ways to contribute some good this holiday season, this is the last week. We're collecting cash donation for the Greater Chicago Food Depository and working with the Crib, which is a shelter for street-based and homeless youth. At the Christmas tree in the hallway, you can give $5, and that will supply 15 meals. And today is the last day for collecting winter items for the Crib. You can talk to Reverend Judy, there she is, if you have questions about this project or if you feel led to be a part of our outreach. Reverend Judy can answer those questions, and I just want to thank Judy for anchoring this project for us through the month of December. Next week, January, we begin again. That is our theme, and our speaker will be Reverend Amy. Following the service, we have our visioning workshop. On the 12th, you can look for our happiness meditation after service. And on the 19th, we have our volunteer appreciation, which will probably be after service as well. Some education opportunities coming up in January. The class Meditation is More Than You Think begins January 15th, and a book study on Pema Chandran's Welcoming the Unwelcome, Wholehearted Living in a Broken-Hearted World will begin on January 27th, and that is an offering that is through Zoom online, so you can participate from your own home. We want to thank our teams today, Don, Connie, Judy, Peter, Bobby, Tiff, Greg, Savita, Keith, Reverend Amy, and if you've noticed over the past month, we're growing a little by little every Sunday, so we would love to add some new hearts and hands to our service teams. So if you would like to team up with someone to anchor the hospitality table in the month of January or join our welcome team, we would be very, very grateful. And just come say hi to me. I'm the person that can get you connected to that. And most importantly, don't leave with anything heavy on your heart. We're offering prayer at the prayer table in the rear of the room. You can fill out a prayer request form, and our practitioners will pray over it for the next 2 weeks, as well as live prayer. And we want you to stick around. We want you to have a good time and laugh and have some coffee. And we would love for you to do that in the hospitality hallway. So in about 5 minutes, we can transition this room for those who are receiving prayer. So just help us create a sacred space for that. And have a blessed New Year, Cityside.
Thank you, E.T. All right, everybody, stand. Stretch, move that body, ground yourself. Because you know that you're walking into, strutting into 2020. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all by myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what I have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Happy 2020. We'll see you on the other side.